Assault and batteries, but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Alright, this is going to be a video response, unless they still exist on YouTube, to Stevie Breach about his video on CM Punk possibly returning to Payback. It's an idea, and I know, if there wasn't a better place than the Raw in Chicago for him to return, it would have been WrestleMania. And if it's not WrestleMania, it's going to be the night after WrestleMania. If it's not the night after WrestleMania, the best time for him to even make an impact and have it have it worthwhile would be Payback, which is in Chicago. It's a pay-per-view. Obviously, it's going to be a reoccurring pay-per-view in Chicago, like you have SummerSlam with LA. I think a lot of people are going to buy tickets to that show and hope that what happened in Raw in Chicago is not going to happen at this pay-per-view. I think now that fans are kind of coming to the realization that CM Punk is gone, and there's a very, very, very slim chance that he's going to come back. And I think that's starting to register now. I think the Raw in Chicago was almost like a 3-course meal. Raw in Chicago was just the appetizer. It's kind of like you're still waiting for that big thing to come. And they had WrestleMania. It was the main course. If anything, he would have came at WrestleMania. And even Stone Cold Steve Austin himself predicted a CM Punk return at WrestleMania, get him right back in the fold, maybe screw over Daniel Bryan or screw over Triple H, but come in with an impact. And now you have the dessert, which is kind of like, if he does, he does. If not, that's what Payback is. For me, whether he comes back or not, and I said this in the beginning, I don't really care. I think it was his choice to leave. It was his choice to just, pack up his bags and go home. And to be quite honest, he, for me at least, hasn't really made a difference. CM Punk has not impacted me enough to stop watching or watch more or watch less. It's kind of still the same. It's a machine. It's going to keep going more and more. And I think if you're the biggest CM Punk fan or not, you can't deny the fact that WWE has done just fine with him there or with him not there. If he comes back, he comes back. But I think now a lot of fans are kind of picking up on the fact that he left us. He never came back. Much like The Rock, you had that animosity, you had that heat against The Rock, that fans had that this guy left us, he kind of ignored us, didn't say anything, didn't even bring us up. And, by us, I mean wrestling fans and wrestling in general. Rock was almost embarrassed that he was a wrestling fan. Or not a wrestling fan, a wrestler. That famous interview, he's like, "Why are you calling me The Rock? My name's Dwayne." It's kind of like that. But, CM Punk, what has he done? He's always prided himself of being the man who kind of sticks up for the fans, the man of the people, the voice of the voiceless. And now he has no voice, because now the only time we've seen him is here and there at a Chicago Blackhawks game and on The Talking Dead. And that show probably brought in a huge rating, because I'm sure about 75% of those people who were watching for CM Punk and to see what he would do or what his reaction would be, to know that the whole wrestling world is watching him right now. Like I said, if he comes back, he comes back. But honestly, after listening to Paul Heyman on Steve Austin's podcast, Heyman gave off a hint that, he's been talking to Punk, but they don't talk about the business. And he thinks, he thinks the wrestling in general is just behind CM Punk. He said he still loves it, but, it's not what he wants to do right now. So take that for what you will, and I think he left it open, for fans to kind of get talking. But if it's me, kind of giving my thoughts, I just think CM Punk's done for a long time. If he does come back, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Maybe next year, maybe WrestleMania 40, if that's even possible. He's mid-30s, is, I don't know how old Punk is, but, once you start hitting that 40 mark, you're not going to be wrestling full-time anymore. You're going to have that Triple H schedule where it's like, 3 or 4 matches a year. So if CM Punk wants to come back, he's got to come back very soon to at least make that retirement money, because I'm sure he has it, but I'm sure it can be a little more. I'm sure it can be a lot more. Considering if he came back, he gets those royalties, he leaves on good terms, does his last run, whatever, everyone leaves happily, instead of this abrupt see you later, nice knowing you, let's never tweet again kind of thing. But that's just my opinion. CM Punk, whatever, keep him gone. If he comes back, he comes back, not a big deal. I'll see you guys in the next video.